Okay, all of you, I welcome you. Lecture series of electric power quality. Okay, yesterday class, nothing but in eighth class, nothing but lecture 8. We are already discussed the what is a sag, how the sag is present in the system. Then how that sag is converted into the some interruptions, or how to clear that sag, how much time that sag is present in the system, what is the difference between the voltage sags as well as voltage swells and over voltages and under voltages. All the things we are completed in the last class. Okay, today class we have to see some estimation of the voltage sags as well as solutions for voltage sags. Here some estimations. Estimation means here whether you estimate the sag at the moment, how much percentage of sag is present in the system, how much time that is present in the system. So then how much magnitude it is present in the system. How much that magnitude is sensitive to the our devices. When you consider all these devices, when you design a device. So whether a device is withstand some amount of sags, some minimum amount of voltage, you can call it as a minimum right through voltage. Remember this word, minimum right through voltage. Okay, minimum right through voltage. Here, in the last class, we already discussed this one. So whether you estimate the sag, why you are estimating? Why you are estimating to develop the equipment to withstand the sags? When you know the characteristics of the sags, or when you know the performance of the sags, then only you can easily estimate that one. Otherwise, it is not possible to estimate. Okay, so you have to know the estimations also. Estimations also more important one. So then the estimations are is nothing but the so from the transmission system, how much amount of voltage sag is injected into the system from the transmission side. The same time, when you see the some distribution side, how much amount of sag is presented and how the sag is injected into the system. Okay, from the distribution side. Okay, then also we have to know the sensitivity to the voltages to our equipments. Sensitivity. So how sensitive the device it is. You know that power electronic devices are more sensitive to this voltage sags as well as interruptions. Power electronic devices are more sensitive to this voltage sags and swells. Remember this power electronics are more sensitive to this voltage sags and swells. Okay. Now we can see this. Now next one we can see this. That is the third one. Then we can see the fourth one. Then we can also keep it in mind in economic aspect of the way. Okay, economic aspect of that. Whether the device is failure due to a small amount of voltage, it will lead to the more economic problems. If it leads to complete shutdown of the some industries also, that leads to the more economic loss to the industries. So if any device, when you manufacture or when you design any device, it can withstand some voltage sags or swells or interruptions. That minimum level of voltages, we can call it as the right through voltages. Okay, that we can call it as the right through voltages. Okay, now we can go for the next one. I mean, this is already we discussed in yesterday. Okay, now, next we can see the in the yesterday class we are also completed the area of vulnerability as well as the equipment sensitive to the voltage sags. Nothing but, so area of vulnerability. So nothing but in transmission side you can consider the ASDs. In distribution side you can consider the some motor contractors. Now we can also draw some graphics like this. Then how much voltage is affected by this. How much percentage of the area is affected by the ASDs and as well as the motors. This inner area is motors. This outer lines you can treat it as the ASDs. Then also you can also see in the last class sensitivity to voltage sags. You also see the sensitivity is determined by the one magnitude as well as time. So then combinedly time and magnitude. Okay. So all these things we are keep it in mind to develop an equipment. So how much sensitive whether the device is facing the voltage sags. Okay. Now today class, I mean we have left two topics in estimating voltage sag performances. That is transmission system sag performance evaluation, and their next one is the distribution system sag performance evaluation. So today we are going to discuss this two and also solutions for the voltage sags. So now see the transmission system sag performance. You know, you already see this diagram. You can go for this one. You can see this diagram. You can see this diagram. You can see this diagram. So this is the customer side. We have already discussed in earlier also. This is the some distribution side. So this is some transmission side. If there is any problem, any fault in this system, okay, from the customer side, will identify these line reclosers and open that line reclosers and coming to the circuit breakers also. But you take 2 to 3 cycles to open the circuit breakers as well as the line reclosers. Okay, for that time, some amount of voltage sags are injected into this system. So some customer is causes. So that percentage of is nearly of some 33% problems is facing that. For suppose there is any some short circuit fault, single line to ground faults. I assume only single line to ground fault, but that is of three phase faults is also there. Okay, na? Single phase faults is also there. No problem. That may have three phase A and phase B and as well as phase C faults is also there. Single phase faults or whatever any other phase is there. So if there is any fault in this parallel feeder, nothing but the parallel feeder, what will happen here? So if this is the fuse, a fuse will clear that. Before that clearing, some amount of voltage sags or swells or interruptions is enter into this parallel feeder. So this is the CB. So before this clearing, so the amount of sags is enter into the remaining feeders. This is the, so this will cause nearly a 46% problems in distribution. So this is the transmission. So transmission you can take it as a two lines. If any of the line is failure, then another line will supply the power. Then continuity is maintained. Here, if any of the problems persist, any of this parallel feeder is present in the parallel board, the entire power system is open. It's nothing but the entire feeder is open. So we can lose the power. Okay. So that is the thing here. Here we are discussing that is a transmission system side. So a transmission system. So whenever there is any fault in the transmission system also, a distribution side customer is also facing the voltage sags. Yes. Okay. This is the transmission system. So this is the bus bar. You can supply the lines, two lines. So this is again the transformer. Again the some transformer. Again by using the some feeder. Sorry. So we can see this some small distribution system, sorry, a transmission or whatever, the single line diagram. Some this is the source again, some two lines. So again some using some transformer, some bus bar, pair 1, this is fader 2, this is fader 2, this is fader 4, some transformers. So if there is any some line AB and this is another line CB or CD, this is the source. There is any problem in this, for suppose there is some fault here, what will happen? So in this AB is open, so the supply is continued by using this CB lines. Here the case, if there is a, if you consider as a parallel fader, there is any fault here, it can inject into the some another faders also. What will happen on that time? What will happen? The entire faders are open. So the entire power system is shut. Nothing but just see it. Okay. So that is the cases here. So whenever there is a problem in transmission system, that will also leads to voltage sags in the distribution side as well as the customers. It will also face the some problems. So now see here, now we are considered single line to ground fault, but a fault is nothing but single line to ground fault, three phase faults, again two phase to ground faults, whatever, then short circuit faults or open circuit, all these are comes under the faults. But in our analysis, you know that most of the problems are present in the power system are single line to ground faults. We can consider here single line to ground faults. So not only that single line to ground faults, then some three phase faults also present in the system. That is also leads to the voltage sags as well as swells as well as interruptions. Okay. So for suppose if there is some short circuit is occurred in the system, what will happen? The current level is high, the voltage level is very low. For suppose there is some open circuit is happening, what will happen here? What will happen? The current is zero, then voltage is very high. So those are the some cases. We are not considered as only the a fault in the sense that may be of single phase faults or two phase or three phase or whatever it may be. You can treat it as a fault. Then another side is the loads. One is the faults cases. How the sags are present? One is the sags, nothing but one is the faults. The sags as well as interruptions are present in the system from one is the fault. Then second one is the loads. Second one is the loads. The faults are nothing but single phase to line, single phase to ground faults, or single phase to single phase fault, line to line fault, and nothing but the single phase line faults. Whatever it may be, two phase to ground faults, two phase to phase faults, or three phase to ground faults, whatever it may be. All these are leads to causes the voltage sags as well as interruptions. Some loads also causes to voltage sags. Some load, induction motor starting is leads to the voltage sags. Some capacitor banks and all other things you can start, it leads to the swells in the systems. Remember, these are the some loads. Loads also causes the voltage sags. Okay. Then some faults is the causes the some voltage sags. Loads, again we have some more important thing is the load. The next one is the sensitive load. What is that sensitive load? Some power electronic loads. So 80% of these loads, some power electronic loads will cause the voltage sags in the system. Okay. One from fault side, the faults, how that faults are occurred in the power system due to the some technical or nothing but this, some voltage, nothing but this, some short circuits of the lines, some open circuits of the lines, some lightnings. All these are comes under the faults. Okay. So now second one is a load side. From the load side, two categories when you divide into two categories. Okay. Now see this. Now see this next one. Now see this. You can also see the end user equipment characteristics. You can also see the end user equipment characteristics because of the transformer connections are nothing but because of the connections, some phase to ground or phase to phase connections. Okay, because of this transformer connections. So from the transmission side, it is injected some voltages in the system, and other one some sags in the system, some faults. Here is not only single line to ground faults, there are more number of faults are also there for producing this voltage or power quality problems, voltage sags, swells and interruptions. Then we can also see the some because of some transformer connections. Here remember, because of this some transformer connections. So based on these transformer connections, the magnitude of the sag as well as the phase voltages of three-phase system is also changes because of this transformer connections. How the transformer is connected, star and delta or delta and star, or more options are there, more cases are there. Okay, based on this one, our performance of the voltage axis also changes. Now see this. Now see this this point. Now see this. 33% of the problems is solved by using the line-to-line connections. Again, 50% of the problems is solved by using the line-to-neutral connections. Okay. Okay, nothing but here see, when you connected any device in line to line, it will face only 33%, nothing but 73% problem is cleared. So when you face this line to neutral, 58% problem that is cleared, nothing but you can see the transformer connection, you can see this transformer. Based on this transformer connections, now see this as well as primary and secondary, star to star as well as with grounded. One is grounded primary, second one is not grounded. Now see this stars to star connection, star to star grounded, delta to delta, star to delta, then star grounded and delta. You can see there are different types of combinations you are connecting the transformers. Based on this transformer connections, why I'm speaking about that one, because of transmission side we are using the we are using the some huge amount of kVA transformers. Because of this transformer connections also, the phases, the values is also changes, the phase values is also changes. Now these values, now see these values we are considered for single line to ground faults. Whenever there is a single line to ground faults present in the system, the connection is like this, the connection is this one. How much amount of phases are changes? VAB changes 0.58 pu per unit value. This VBC is still normal value. VC is changes to the 0.5 when you are connected to the phase to phase. When you are connected to the phase to neutral, so now we can see this VAN is also nothing but single line to ground fault. If that only that line is clear. Now see this faults. Now we can understand. And still people are joining. I don't understand why. Okay, now see this. For suppose I can draw a small graph here. A small graph here. You can observe the all of you observe this graph. This is one phase. Now I can change the color. Okay. Now this is the another phase. Okay. Then I can change the another color also. Now see this. Now see this. I hope all of you visible this color, yellow color. You can see these three phases. If any of the phase is affected by the power quality, if any of the phases, what will happen? That phase only, see this, the remaining two phases are normal. Okay, this is the standard level. See this. Okay, so that is the standard level. For suppose the yellow color, some phase C is facing the problem. Now what will happen here? Phase A and phase B is under normal cases. Now see this voltage level. Now see here the phases, the phase C, the phase C. After some time, here after some time, now see here after some time, what will happen here? That voltage level is reduced. Now see this. If any of the phase is affecting, this is also the sag of the three-phase system. If any of the phase is affecting the sag. Now here we are considering the single line to ground fault here. So these are the connections, transformer connections from the transmission in between the transmission side as well as the distribution. In between the transmission to the these connections are made for transmission to the distribution when we are connected the transmission side to the distribution side. A step down transformers. Okay, transmission to the distribution. Nothing but the step down transformers. Okay, if these connections are like this. So the amount of phase voltages are like this, or some neutral voltage, phase to neutral voltages are like this. When you connected this connection or connected this one, this one, this one, then similarly you can also experience some phasor diagram also. You know that if any of the phase voltage changes, that you can also treat it as a some fault in the power system. Now this is you see this. Some based on these characteristics, based on these characteristics, we are dividing some this voltage sags into the some different categories, type A, type B, type C, type D, type E, based on these characteristics. So nothing but an end use equipment characteristics. At the same time, you can also see the end use equipment characteristics. You can we can characterize the sags into some different different types. Those are those are sag type A as well as type B as well as type C. This one is type D and this one is type E. So we can characterize by using end user equipment, and second one you can characterize by using the transformer connections. Okay. Okay, now see here, this is phase 1, phase 2 as well as the phase phase A, phase B as well as the phase. These are a phase shift phase shift angles. Whenever only phase A, for suppose phase A, phase B, phase C. Phase A has facing some power quality issue. On that time, what is the voltage sag, or what is this some phasor diagram? All these things are represented by this. Okay, so next one the fourth one. In the fourth one you can see the some estimation of voltage sag. Fourth one, some distribution system sag performance. Now we are seeing now we are already see the transmission. Now we can move it to the distribution system. In the distribution side, whenever you are calling the distribution side, so that we can lead for the you can remember for the number of parallel feeders you are supplied from the substation, or number of parallel feeders that are connected by the consumers. Then at the same time, average feeder length. Remember, in transmission system also we can assume the average feeder length, average transmission line distances, transmission system. At the same time, in the distribution system also you can assume the, while you are designing the system or estimating the voltage sag, you can identify the how many number of feeders are present in the substation, or how many number of feeders are connected by the consumers. And second one, what is the feeder length? Based on the feeder length, the amount of voltage sag is injected into the consumer devices is changes because of the some impedance present in the system. Okay. The next one is the some reactance of that system. Okay. Then next one, what is the next one here? Here short circuit reactance of that system substation. Equivalent reactance of that substation. You can keep it in mind for estimating the voltage sags in distribution side consideration. While this is the transmission side consideration. These are the transmission side considerations. Okay. So these are the transmission side connections. So these are the distribution side. Okay. Feeder number of feeders, feeder length, as well as reactance. You can also see the reactance. Now see this diagram. Now see this one, distribution side. Now see this. This is the some parallel feeder. This is some parallel feeder. So this is the this we can assume it as some customers. Customers. Okay, some customers. So these are the feeders. So these are the circuit breaker, circuit breaker, circuit breaker, then circuit breakers. So if there is any problem present in this parallel feeder, what will happen here? Some again you can assume it as single line to ground, but whatever it may be. Remember a fault. Whenever we are calling it as a fault. So what is meant by fault? And any deviations in the power voltages and currents, you can call it as simply a fault. There are so many reasons for producing the faults. You know that very well. Now can I assume it as a single line to ground fault. Here, that fault is occurring. So this is the fuse. A fuse is clearing the fault. Before clearing the fault, some amount of sag is injected into this line. So before the clearing of the circuit breaker, now see this. That is going to the remaining feeder source. That is going to the remaining feeder source. But see here, this feeder length is, for example, 50 km. This feeder length is only of 20 km. The voltage sag for 50 km line as well as 20 km line is definitely of changes. Definitely the magnitude is changes. The time that present in the system is also changes. Remember, for 20 km line, for 50 km line, for 20 km line, which one will more affect the system? A 20 km line connected devices or consumers are more affected by this voltage sags when compared to the 50 km line connected devices. At the same time, we can also consider that feeder length is more important factor, but the fault that is present in the system, for example, that fault is present in customer side. So that fault is present in the customer side. So on that time, so this area, whatever that area people will more affected by this voltage sags. When the sags are moving the some customer side to the series, when the sags are moving the customer side to the some this parallel connection feeder, what will happen? There are more time to reach the another feeders. On that time, what will happen? The magnitude of that voltage sags are reduces. Okay, so whenever there is any problem in this parallel feeder connection, the entire uh, all other feeders will open by the circuit breakers. But nowadays we are using the interconnected power system. So if there is any problem in the feeders, the another side, so we are using some another source to uh, supply the some power to the consumers without any interruptions. So nowadays we are using this type of the power system, interconnection power system. But it is in radial. So if there is any problem in the any one of the feeder, remaining all the feeders are open. Okay, nothing but so there is some power failures in the system. Okay, this is the distribution system. Okay, now see this graph. You can observe this graph carefully. There is a single line to ground fault, SLG. This is three-phase fault. Based on the distance, you assume this. Based on the distance, this is the distance. Distance. This is the distance. Remember, if the distance is more, so based on the type of the fault, whether it is a single line to ground fault or three-phase fault, here see here. This is the magnitude. Here, remember the magnitude or a per unit value is changes. Now see when you see this three-phase fault, if the distance is 15,000 feet, you see here. What will happen here when the distance is? See this. When the distance is increasing, what will happen? What will happen? You see this magnitude. See this magnitude is gradually, what will happen is gradually reaches to its normal value. Remember, this is not the amount of fault. When the distance is increases, what will happen? The system faults. The system here the whether it is a 2500 feet, the amount of the magnitude is nearly reaches to the zero, and interruption is occurred. But if the distance is more, when the same lines, we are considering the same feeder, the same feeder. The distance is when you come to the distance is under 1500 feet. What will happen? Amount of magnitude of the voltage is nearly of 50% only. Here 50% magnitude. Here nearly 0% magnitude. The recovery, you can see that recovery. So recovery means when it goes to the up one, that means the recovery. When it goes to this one, it is the amount of problem. So for suppose here you can consider this one, how much amount of sag is present in the system. You can see this, some 90 to the cut, you can see this 60% of the sag is present in the system. But here you can see this, how much amount of sag is present in the system. Here you can see this here in this case only. How much amount here? You can see this in this case only some nearly 30% of the sag is present in the system. That is the advantage. When the distance of the feeders increases, accordingly the amount of fault or the amount of voltage sags as well as that injected into the system is also changes. In that same case, single line to ground faults is also considered. When the distance is increases, the amount of voltage sag that is present in the power system is also some change. So this is the graph. Now see the calculations. For suppose there is a fault in the, you can see this parallel feeder. See this, there is a fault in the parallel feeders. You can all of you see this graph, see that graph. All of you see that graph. Sorry, all of you see this equation. So this is the equation for calculating the voltage sag in distribution system while considering the parallel feeder fault. Now see this one, this parallel feeder fault. Now this one, this will causes the entire all the other feeders problems. Okay, that we can assume here. So that is the formula for that one is Vs is the minimum voltage right through. Nothing but the minimum voltage for any device to withstand the faults. That is Vs. Then N1 and N2 are the now see here where N1 and N2 are the some data of the single line to ground fault as well as this three phase to ground faults here, nothing but per mile per month. Here EP1, EP2 are the some single line to and as well as three phase faults of the voltage levels of the parallel feeders. Now Vs, we know that minimum right through voltages. That is the formula. Now for the same feeder, fault is occurred on the same feeder is nothing but this one. Fault is occurred only this feeder, this customer side. This is, and that time the formula is this one, as same. Again Vs you know that minimum right through, and N1 and N2 you know that. So the number of times or the number of miles of that single line to ground faults that are present in the system, then your ES1 and ES3 are the some voltage levels of that feeders. So how to eliminate these faults, voltage sags? We are discussing till now. What is voltage sag? Swell, interruption. Okay. Then second one, we have to let's see the some sources of power quality problems. Then estimations, how to estimate that power quality problems. Nothing but voltage sags, swells as well as interruptions. Now we can see the last one, how to eliminate these faults that are present in the power system. Okay, how to eliminate these faults. Okay, how to eliminate these faults. So eliminating of the faults, while we are going to solutions to end user level, nothing but we have to how to eliminate the faults by we are eliminating the faults by using some another devices. We are using another devices to eliminate these faults. Before you can go for this one, you have to keep it in mind while find out the solutions. The amount of voltage sag as well as interruption that is present in the nothing but the transmission side is different. That is present in the distribution side is different because of the level of voltages. Transmission level voltage is very more when compared to the distribution side of the voltage. So based on this, you have to keep it in mind what you are going to protect, what we are going to protect, on which type of equipment we are going to protect. So how much, what is the voltage level of that equipments? Okay, all other things, nothing but the loads. Which type of loads we are going to protect? What are the different loads? But suppose we are using in some area, we are using 90% of the power electronic devices. On that area, we are using another type of devices to protect those devices. For suppose you have take the some arc furnaces industries. On that time, so this type of products is not suitable because of the arc furnaces in industries. We are facing some more number of flickers in the system, some voltage unbalances in the system. So based on the type of loads we are using, so we are going to protect or we are going to find some solutions. So you are these are some points to identify while you are find the solutions to the voltage sags as well as wells as well as interruption. Okay, first of all, a small loads. We are considering the a small loads. Then you can consider the and next we have to consider the range. You can increase the range up to the 300 kVA. Okay, then you have to consider the large group of the loads, then as well as the medium level of the, you are going to decide that one. Okay, we are going to decide that one. We are going to decide which type of load that is, then what is the rating of that loads, then how much amount of uh, load is done by that area, whatever it may be. Then for suppose if three areas is there, area 1, area 2, area 3, you have to identify which area is more vulnerable to these voltage sags and swells, or which area is getting more power quality problems. We have to identify that one. We have to identify first, then after we find the solutions. Yeah, you have to identify first, then after we are going to find the solutions. So those solutions are ferro resonance transformers, magnetic synthesizers, some active series compensators, online UPSs, then standby UPSs, hybrid UPSs, motor generator sets, as well as some another flywheel energy storage system, superconducting magnet storage system, static transformer switch. These are the some equipments. These are the some equipments to clear the voltage sags. See this. If online UPS, standby UPS, hybrid UPS are not used with all the situations. Similarly, this ferro resonance transformer is not used by all the situations and all the problems. I mean, you cannot use it for everywhere. Based on the characteristics of loads or area or sags, all other things. We are considering all the other things. You can keep it in mind. Then we develop the power quality and nothing but the solutions to this power quality problems. Okay. Now see this. We can see this ferro resonance transformers and all other things. Okay. Now see what is this ferro resonance transformer? Ferro resonance transformer, you can also call it as the constant voltage transformers. Let's see, you cannot call it as a current voltage transformer. This is the okay constant voltage, nothing but a primary and secondary. The voltage levels are equal. Nothing but one is, you can also call it as a 1:1 transformer. You can also call it as a 1:1 transformer. Now see this, a primary side. This is the secondary winding. Okay, you can see this. This is the primary winding. This is the secondary winding. So this is the constant winding. That's why compensating winding. That's why we can call it as constant or compensating winding. So you can see this. You can join this all these two primary as well as compensating winding through this neutral winding. In between this compensating winding as well as the secondary winding, we are connected to the some capacitor. So this is the one of the device. Okay, this is very much suitable for the here a low power loads as well as the variable loads. Okay, this is very much suitable for the low power loads as well as the variable loads, and especially high interest currents are there. Especially high interest currents are there. And that situations, this type of transformer is very much suitable. Okay, you can clear these parts. Okay, the next one, a magnetic synthesizers. A magnetic synthesizers. Okay, so this is the some input. So energy transfer and line isolation, some input here. You can call it as some input here, some output here. Now you can see this some input side as well as output side. Now this is our device, some device, magnetic and some magnetic sensors, some capacitor energy storage. Whenever there is some voltage sags, that is present in the system. By using this capacitor voltage synthesis, we can supply the. You can see this. Sorry, you can supply the some. You can fill the amount of that voltage. Nothing but you can neutralize these voltages. We can supply some amount of the voltage. This is magnetic synthesizer. This we can also see this active series compensator, one of the another type of solution or device to minimize the voltage sags or to mitigate the voltage sags. There are so many names. Minimize the voltage sags. Some people are calling mitigation. Most of the textbooks we are using the term mitigation. Mitigate the faults or mitigate the voltage sags. Mitigation in the sense here minimization of the voltage faults or remove of the voltage faults. Okay, so one of the another devices you can see this active series compensator device. This active series compensator. You can see this active series compensator device. This is compensating diodes here. So now see here a forward direction. This one is the reverse direction. This is the load here. Some loads is nothing but the some R or whatever it may be, and different types of loads we are assuming as different. By compensating these loads, we are using. Now see here, for example, there is a short circuit current is there, some reverse direction. What will happen here? This will stop that current. If there is any problem coming from the source, what will happen here? This diode is clear that faults. So another but open that faults. So so at that time, so that load is not experienced by some any voltage sags. So like this. So next one is online UPSs. So I think we are using in our college also we are using this online UPSs. Okay, online UPSs in our computer lab we are using this online UPSs. How these online UPSs are working? So this is the line. So this is the source. So this is our computers loads. For example, it is some power alternate loads. Some computers are, you can assume it as power alternate loads. Remember, computers you can consider it as a power alternate nodes are nothing but the sensitive loads, are nothing but the non-linear. Any power electronic load you can consider it as a non-linear load. Remember, any power electronic based load you can consider it as a non-linear load, or you can also call it as a sensitive load. Okay. Now see this rectifier. So see this some loads as well as battery bank. Whenever there is a power failure, so this is some rectifier. So this is some inverter. If this is the battery bank, if there is any there is no problem in the system, so that power is transferred into the some load. There is any problem in the system, what will happen here? In the time the battery bank is activated, I identify that battery bank is activated and supply the some power to the system. What will happen? It simply, what will happen if there is any fault is coming to this one? What will happen? It just simply clear that faults. Clearing of the faults. Remember, clearing of the faults means it can open the circuit breaker or something else. Then by using that battery bank, you can continuously supply the power. So once that problem is cleared, so that circuit breaker is closes or auto reclose is closes. So on that time the battery bank is disconnected. Then so then again that the battery bank is also charges by using this power. Online UPS, very simple. So this one is some standard and hybrid UPS, the same. But these are some more intelligence power system. Now see this automatic transfer switch. You can see this. You can see this a standby UPS. You can see this. We are using the some automatic transfer switches. And nothing but the here you can see this normal line under normal line. Now see this online UPS, and this one is only changes is if there is some normal line is coming to this one. If there is some switch here, you can switch that switch here, and conversion is nothing but under. You can operate it as a normal, or you can operate it as a online UPS. There is any problem in the battery bank, our battery banks are I mean due to some problems in the battery bank, our battery bank charging is not stable for 10 to 15 minutes, or not there for 10 to not holding for 10 to 15 minutes. And that time what will happen if there is a power failure in that time? What will happen? So you can eliminate this battery bank, and then you can directly connect this. So then this is some switch over. You can on that switch, or you can go for one-on-one switch. Then this one is the some hybrid UPS. So you can see this some ferro resistance transformers. Some the same thing. There is a fault. It can come to the battery bank and supply some voltages to the loads. Or there is a normal conditions. So through this line, some fault here in this line. There is normal in this line. So in this line fault here. This is some ferro resistance transformer. It's not but 1:1 transformer. You see this. Okay, this because why you are using this this type of transformers, online UPSs or standby UPSs or hybrid UPS. You can maintain continuity of the supply. You can for the continuity of the supply. But this ferro resonant and all this type of nothing but some active series compensator, magnetic ferro resonance transformers, you will face the interruptions in the power system. Nothing but complete shutdown of the systems. Nothing but complete clearing of the fault, the complete opening of the circuit breakers is nothing but you can face the complete interruption, long-term interruption. Then what is the benefit of this, or what is the advantage of this online UPS systems? You are not facing the continuous interruptions. Then another type of system is there for motor and generator set. You know that flywheel mechanism. You know that flywheel mechanism that is there in the power plant. That is there in the power plant. So if there is any voltage changes, an AVR automatic voltage regulators, more number of this type of flywheel mechanisms are there to maintain the this one a flywheel mechanism. Some yes, some that will you can also call it as some you can a flywheel mechanism or some AVS is also there for. This is one of the another technique for clearing the faults. Some clearing the faults. You know that what automatic voltage regulators is also there. Some flywheel mechanism also there. Some mechanical as well as some this mechanism. So some power electronic based mechanisms also there to maintain the speed of the generators. To maintain the speed of the generators. So now here they can consider the flywheel generation system. You see this. If there is any changes or power changes in this motor or lines, so here this is the line we are giving this one. What will happen here? If there is any speed changes in between this motor and generator, automatically this generator starts and supply the power to this motor and runs continuously for the continuously running purpose. Now this is the one another type of the superconducting magnetic. Now see this superconducting magnetic energy storage systems, SMES. So these are some automatic. Now see here, these are some automatic systems. Superconducting magnetic. These are some automatic systems. See here, same. It is also like online UPS system. It is also the design is also very much similar to the as standard UPS or hybrid UPS or standard UPS system. This is also very much. Now see this diagram. A voltage regulator is there, then capacitor bank is there, some DC to DC converter is there for maintaining the constant voltage level. Some breaker is there, DC breaker is there. Okay, this is the some utility grid. This is the grid. This is the load. This is the grid, or this is the source. So here in this we are connecting some transformer. So this we are going to connect by using the transformer linear. Remember, you can consider the linear transformer. This entire device is not directly connected to the uh, lines. How to connect these lines? By using the linear transformers. By using some linear transformers is nothing but the diagram is nothing but like this. This is source. These are the some nodes. You are not directly connected this SCM is to this or any other device to this loads or to this line. You must use the some transformer. Okay, so where okay, some transformers. So this is one of the device. So this is the static transformer switches and fast transfer switches. Sorry, static transfer switches as well as the some same similarly is like active nothing but circuits is nothing but some primary source as well as the some alter. So if there is any some this is source here. So it is very much similar to this this case. We can see this. So yes, this one active series component. It is very much similar. Yeah, power electronic based technique for minimizing the voltage problems in the system. Now see here, there is any fault or there is any problem. So here, this is the line, our line. This is our line. There is any problem in this line. What will happen here? So it can identify nothing but this is open. This is open. So the alternate power is coming to this. So a small transfer switches is nothing but a switch, a power electronic switch. Remember, an electronic switch, an electronic switch. Now see this some the switches performances. You know that how the switches are conducted, how the switches. Now you know that a power switch in power electronics, a switch means here a device, a thyristor or IGBTs or diodes or IGBTs or MOSFETs. These all are comes under the switches, power electronic switches or electronic switches. Okay, those nature are in static, so that's why static transfer switches. So you know that these operations, how this when will this switches are conducted, when will that switches are not connected? You know that all the things. Very simple. Okay, now we can see this the last one where you can connect this all the types of the devices you are discussing. More the devices now. See this, we are discussing all these devices now. We are discussing now all this. We are discussing. Sorry, we are already discussing these devices. Okay, all the devices. Okay, we are already discussing this all the devices. So resistance transformers, marriage, active series compensators, online UPS, standby UPS, hybrid UPS, motor generators, flywheel mechanism, as well as generation systems, as well as superconducting magnetic energy storage, as well as static transformers. Where you can connect these devices. For suppose this is the source. Okay, this is the transmission system. This is the bus bar. So this is a fader 1, fader 2, fader 3, fader 4, fader 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is circuit breakers. Circuit breakers. Some we have some transformer here, transmission system. This is transmission line. This is the distribution. where you can calculate this all these things. You can keep it in mind. You can ask keep it in mind these points. Then you decide that. Then you will decide that we are facing more problems on fader one. For suppose you decide that. How will you decide that? You can estimate that one. You are already estimated. You are calculated on which feeder or which transmission line will get the more voltage angst. You can estimate that when you can calculate it, that are the things. Then you can decide that one. There is a fault in the more problems in the fader one. Okay, I will draw the single line diagram of fader one. Now see this, a fader one. This is the fader one. So I will draw this structure, fader one. This is the load. Remember, this is very important. Load. In this fader one, this is fader one, where you can connect it our device. Nothing but all these devices. These devices where you can connect it. A source side or a load side. So that we can call it as a. So most of the devices you are connected the load side. That is we can, because more problems is coming from the load side, voltage sides as well, sir. So that point we can call it as the PCC, point of common coupling. By this point, by we are connected the devices or UPSs or some DVR. Now we are using DVR, DSTAT. These are the some power joint based devices to minimize this voltage size. DVRs, DSTAT comes, okay, UPFCs, UPQCs, all other things. These are the modern things, modern techniques. These online UPS, all the devices. These devices are connected the PCC, point of, what is PCC? Point of common coupling. How to decide this point of common coupling? You have to estimate that on which side you will get the more voltage problems, whether load side or source side. You can decide this, then you can identify the some point here. That point you can call it as the point of common coupling. In this point, we are connected the, in this location we are connected the this transformers. Nothing but this type of devices. Okay, these are the some solutions for the devices. Okay. So today we are already see this some estimations of the power quality problems as well as some solutions to this power quality problems. By the next class, we are going to see some transmissions. Okay, some some transients problems. How to identify that transients in the system, power system. How to clear that transients in the power system. Next class, we are going to discuss that. Thank you very much.